Well, I don't want to leave this longevity thing we started the other day. I don't want to leave it yet because I have more details. Let's see here. Dr. Lee died, let's see here, May 5th, 1933. He was said to have been born in 1677, which made him 256 years of age when he died. Ironically, the obituary right next to Dr. Lee's in the New York Times obituary page, May 6th, the day after he died, 1933, was Dr. Isaac Furman, who was the superintendent or supervisor of the state hospital in Manhattan, New York, okay, Manhattan Island, and he died of apoplexy, okay, which is kind of a seizure. And so, again, I don't know, didn't say he was ill beforehand. He just had apoplexy and died the next day at age 54. Okay, so here's a medical doctor who dies at 54, and here's a Chinese herbalist who dies at 256 years of age. Now, Dr. Lee was from Sichuan province, China, and he was an herbalist, and he traveled around central and northern China gathering herbs and so forth. But Sichuan province is legendary for having people with long lives. Now, the National Geographic constantly, since I've been reading it, for 60 years, has always featured long-lived people on the cover, people 148, 168, and so on. And one of the things that's consistent is that they're all third-world cultures. There's no first-world cultures where people live that long. Now, these guys are all written up as the Blue Zones by Dan Buettner, who's a reporter for National Geographic. And there are consistencies, right? They have 23 common threads. First of all, they have 40 times 100-year-olds we do. These top 20 longevity cultures have 100-year-old per 250 of their population. Americans have 100-year-old per 10,000. Some of the things that are consistent with these top 20 longevity cultures is that, again, they're illiterate. They're from third world cultures. They have no doctors, no private or government insurance. They have no clinics, no hospitals, no emergency services. They do live on a calorie-restricted diet. Not that they know the science of calorie restriction and longevity because they're illiterate, can't read. But they're so poor they can only afford 600 and 900 calories a day on the average. They work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And these people do not eat bad stuff, not because they wouldn't drink soft drinks or eat fast foods if they were there, but who's going to build fast food places when there's no roads, no cars, and no drive-ins or no drive-thrus, right? So that didn't happen, not because they consciously gave it up. It's just nobody's going to build drive-thrus for guys either walking or moving around on burros. Well, the thing that's consistent to me about them is they all get the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And you can check this out. And again, the National Geographic, the anthropology departments, the agriculture departments, and the universities in the countries these cultures come from. And the thing that fascinates me is the people of wealth 5, 6, 7,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago, would get their mineral supplements by eating mummy dust. They would pay grave robbers great amounts of silver and gold to get mummies, and they would grind them up into powder and eat them as a supplement, and thereby getting the minerals from their bones and skin and dried organs. And we're able to get rid of arthritis and other diseases that you could see in those days and didn't require electronic testing. The disease would go away because they were nutritional deficiency disease, and the mummies had stored minerals in their bones. Well, poor people, slaves, subsistence farmers couldn't afford mummy dust, so where did they get their minerals? Well, they got their minerals from wood ashes. Wood ashes are not really ashes. They're actually the minerals that the tree sucked up out of the ground. They burnt the wood for fuel, and the powder that was made was primarily 99% minerals. It might have had a little bit of carbon in there, but mostly minerals. You'd throw those plant minerals, a.k.a. wood ashes, out in the garden. The pumpkins, the beans, the peas, corn, tomatoes, okra, sweet potatoes, onions would suck all these minerals up, and people would eat those foods that were fertilized by the wood ashes, a.k.a. plant minerals, a.k.a. wood ashes. And this is the way that people got their mineral supplements for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant. And it was in the newspaper, and every newspaper in the world the next day, because we had telegraphs and clipper ships, and so the news got out very quickly. Well, in 10 years, every industrialized nation, every town, every municipality, every city, and every industrialized nation, including the United States, had switched from wood as the universal fuel to electricity, no more wood ashes. So our physical decline began. Well, we still had floodplains, flood valleys and so forth, bottomland, which would flood every year, and when the flood water would recede, it would leave silt, a.k.a. minerals from the mountains, hundreds or maybe even thousands of miles upstream. But then we dammed up the rivers to get more electricity, and then no more flooding, no more silt. And so we got, what did we get? We got the Dust Bowl, we got the Great Depression, and now we're using artificial fertilizer with 3 nutrients in it instead of all 90 essential nutrients. And then, of course, we have problems because here comes doctors saying, don't supplement. You can overdose. Just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, that doesn't work. You do have to take your 90 essential nutrients. I urge you to get a hold of the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, the book Rare Earth Forbidden Cures, and the book Immortality, and learn how you can supplement and consciously give your genes, your DNA, your RNA, and your telomeres everything they need to maximize your longevity, your health, your fitness, speed, strength, and intelligence. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about Alzheimer's, as I've got a CNN story here. It says we may be able to reverse signs of early Alzheimer's disease. And they're talking about, they say it affects 5 million Americans. It's the 6th leading cause of death in the U.S. And they say there's no cure. But they did a small study at UCLA, and they say there's a glimmer of hope for those who have this diagnosis. 9 out of 10 patients involved in the study who are in various stages of dementia say their symptoms were reversed after they participated in a rigorous program that included things like optimizing vitamin D levels in the blood, using DHA supplements to bridge broken connections, optimizing gut health, and strategic fasting to normalize blood or insulin levels. Say a few months after starting the extreme program. I find that they're calling this an extreme program, and all it is nutritional supplementation. Yeah. It's kind of weird. But they say the study of those in the study were ages 55 to 75, and they noticed their cognition had either improved or returned to normal. Only one patient, a 60-year-old female that was in late stages of dementia, continued to decline. This was all published in the journal Aging. The lead researcher, Dr. Dale Bredesen, a director of the Mary S. Easton Center for Alzheimer's Disease Research at UCLA, says supporting the idea that addressing the many contributing factors of Alzheimer's disease as a group rather than one at a time could potentially reverse the disease's early progression. They say those factors include 36 potential deficiencies, imbalances, and sources of inflammation. 10 of the patients in the pilot study underwent a battery of tests having their blood drawn, brain scanned, neurological evaluations, and most of the study participants had between 10 and 24 problems that needed correcting. According to Bredesen, he says drug companies tend to come up with really good patch for one hole. It's not a surprise they don't work. So I think actually that deserves because that's basically what you've been talking about for years, that, you can't just treat one symptom because usually there's multiple problems wrong and multiple deficiencies. That's why you need all 90 of the essential nutrients, not just 1 or 2. So finally, at least the medical doctors cluing into what's going on here, because obviously they didn't say whether he was an MD or not, but I would think to have that kind of position at a big university, he would have to be.
Yeah, it could be just a PhD in biochemistry, right? Anyway, that first one, I missed it. Did you say vitamin D is in David or vitamin B is in boy?
D is in David. Okay.
Now, remember 1993 when the audio cassette tape Dead Doctors Don't Lie came out, I reported on University of California, San Diego, and the Salk Institute. They said giving large doses of vitamin A, you could improve symptoms. Then, back in, let's see here, 2004, I reported on Johns Hopkins study where they just gave vitamin C and E to a large group of people. We're talking about 2,500 and had a control group of 2,500 for 10 years. And the ones getting the vitamin C and E had 80% less Alzheimer's disease at the end of the 10-year study. And these were people 65 years of age and older when they started. They had no other serious diseases. Very dramatic. When you can prevent Alzheimer's disease by almost 80% by giving 2 vitamins, okay? And so this is where, as you say, I've been yelling about this ever since the late 80s, and it came out in the audio cassette tape, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And I said that there's no way that Alzheimer's disease could be genetic if high doses of vitamin E can improve many of the serious symptoms. This study was repeated in January of 2014. Same thing. They said you can plan for your vacation 4 to 6 months away on a calendar and flight plans and everything just by taking large doses of vitamin E. So we're on the right track here, Doug. We can prevent Alzheimer's disease. I'm claiming it now. We can prevent Alzheimer's disease by as much as 80% with a nutritional supplement. Thank you for bringing it up. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Columbia, South Carolina. And Barbara, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Barbara. You're on the air.
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. How can we help you?
Yes. In 2000, I'm 7 years old, and in 2010, I started getting vitiligo around my fingers, and now it expands most on my hands and legs, and a couple of spots in my forehead. And I purchased your book, and I read some of the ingredients that was in it concerning vitiligo. Can you give me some light on as far as food or anything else that probably can help me with this? Okay,
well, let me ask you some questions. Do you have any history of skin problems as a kid? Did you have any rough skin on the back of your arms or things like rosacea or acne, dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis, anything like that?
Never, no.
Okay, good. Did you ever have any asthma or bronchitis?
Never.
Okay, good. Do you have any children?
Yes.
Okay, do they have any problems?
No, not at all. Because I'm the sibling out of 10. I'm the youngest out of 10, and I'm the only one have it, the vitiligo.
Okay, so there's actually no R in there. It's vitiligo.
Vitiligo, right?
Yeah, you're losing skin color. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay, all right. And so, this is typically a nutritional deficiency. And so what I'm looking for is the reasons why you might not be absorbing normal amounts from your food. It could be your food just doesn't have any in it. It can also be complicated by not being able to absorb it, even if you're supplementing with these nutrients. And so, Shar, this could be a Shar thing. This lady is 57 years old. How much do you weigh, Barbara?
I weigh 169, and I'm 5'7".
Okay. And she's got vitiligo, loss of skin color in her hands and her legs, a little bit on her scalp. And so what would you say here? What's going on?
Well, usually that means that you have a gluten intolerance, which means you can't absorb.
Exactly. What mineral in particular is missing when you have vitiligo?
Copper, isn't it?
Exactly. Perfect. You get an A+. Okay. And so what we have to do at 169 pounds is I would go ahead, Barbara, and have you take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. That will allow you to have 3 of our Ultimate Selenium twice a day, which has a cofactor in it, copper. You'll also be able to get 1 ounce twice a day of the OsteoFX Plus, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 Nutri-Crystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner. All that would be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. And what would you do specifically for skin and hair and nail health, Shar?
Hair, skin, and nails.
Well, there you go. 2 bottles of hair, skin, and nails per month, 3 twice a day. That's going to also support skin pigment. And then be sure to stay away from all the bad stuff. No gluten, no fried foods and processed meats and oils. Call us every 2 weeks, Barbara, and give us a sort of a status report. We'll walk you through it. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Massachusetts. And Ricky, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Ricky, you're on the air.
Hey, hi. It's an honor to talk with you, Doctor. I'm a 39-year-old. I'm a 39-year-old male, and I have actually turned vegetarian 3-4 years back. I do yoga and some cardio for exercise. I have a medical condition. What is happening is since May of this month, every day I have started getting some partial seizures where I go blank for 15 to 20 seconds. My history is actually a few years back I had a big seizure in the night, and after that I used to get seizures every few months, but that was under control, and I used to take homeopathy medicines for that. But for some reason, recently, these daily partial seizures have started, and that has kind of disturbed my life completely.
Okay. Now, how much do you weigh, Ricky?
I weigh around 150 plus, and my height is 5'6".
Okay, 5'6"?
5'6".
Yeah. Okay. These little moments, these little mini seizures where you lose your vision, these could be called TIAs, transient ischemic events or attacks, where you're getting sludge going through your arteries, the small arteries in your brain. So they're called TIAs. That would be my guess here. Have you talked to a physician about these things?
Yeah, I did, and actually we did EEG, and we also did MRI, and they didn't find anything. Everything came out normal.
Okay, good. That's very good.
Yeah, I feel like I have a little bit of hypothyroid, and I have a high cholesterol. I have a high BP, and I feel like something has changed recently, and that might have been. Something.
Okay, well, get your pen and paper out. Get your pen and paper out. Let's see here. Do you have any history of any skin problems?
I have started sweating a lot in the night, and my hair has started falling a lot recently.
Okay. All right. That's not good for a 29-year-old guy. Okay, so, Shar, what would you expect is his basic underlying problem here? If they didn't find any real lesions or things you could see with an X-ray or a CAT scan up in his brain, what do you think is his underlying problem? He's losing hair?
I think he's not absorbing.
Exactly.
And he needs to get on a high-fat diet also.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Yeah, so what I would do, as Shar suggests, I would go ahead and get on a gluten-free diet. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. You must get rid of fried foods of all kinds. Nothing fried. No stir-fry, no deep-fried, nothing fried. Absolutely no processed meats. No, having a history of being a vegetarian, probably don't eat much in the way of processed meats, but no processed meats or nitrates, nitrites, and so forth. No oils. You probably eat a lot of oils. No oils. And no gluten. No wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Hang on, Ricky. We'll come back. We'll give you a program after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go right back to Massachusetts and Ricky. Okay, I'd go ahead and give you 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month that will allow you to have 3 of our Ultimate Selenium at breakfast and dinner, 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses twice a day, and 3 of the EFAs twice a day. And those last two, the EFA Pluses and the EFAs, are very, very important when you have a history of TIAs, transient ischemic attacks. You're getting sludge going through your artery. You're not going to see any mechanical defects or physical defects in your brain of any kind, so this kind of fits the possibility. I would also throw in 3 of the Ultimate Daily tablets twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month to support healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries and to support and promote healthy blood pressure. Okay? And then for your thyroid, Sharp, what would you do for the possibility of a thyroid problem here?
I would give him Ocean's Gold.
Absolutely. Okay, at 150 pounds, I'd go ahead and take 3 Ocean's Gold tablets at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. That'll be 2 bottles a month. And then give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know your weight, your blood pressure. Let us know your pulse. Let us know what's going on if you're having any more of these TIAs. I believe that would be what I would call them. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Montana. And Jerry, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Jerry, you're on the air.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. I used the health questionnaire on the longevity website, and I had some questions about that, about what they recommended. Next to where they recommended BTT, they wrote, if after a few weeks or months you experience a lack of energy or are tired all the time, your liver and kidneys may be overloaded and not able to remove all the toxins and heavy metals that are being eliminated from the cells. And I was wondering what that meant.
Well, in herbal terms, a lot of times you get a blockage of function and stuff causes just junk accumulated in your liver and kidneys, and unless you have the right nutrients to facilitate elimination of these bad things, they begin to accumulate. And of course, this is what there's 3-day cleanses, 4 or 5-day cleanses. There's everyday cleanses, and so I have to ask you: have you started using the products yet?
I am using some of them, but I'm taking kind of an experimental approach. I'm not doing it the way that you would normally recommend.
Sure. Okay. Now, couple of questions here. Did you have any health challenges, or are you looking to prevent problems?
I do have a lot of minor health issues that I'm working on, and that's what makes.
Well, throw a couple at me.
Determines the
right
choice.
Now, I'm groping around in the dark here. Throw a couple at me.
Yeah. Well, can we deal with this problem?
Well, I have to answer your question I have to answer your question first, only after I know what's going on.
What happened when I started using the plant-derived minerals?
No.
After a while, I did start feeling tired.
No, that's not the answer to my question. My question is, did you have any health problems like high blood pressure, diabetes, itchy skin, jock itch, ringing in your ears? Did you have any health problems before you started?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, name a few for me.
All right. My knees would hurt on long hikes. I would occasionally get foot cramping. I get splits on my fingers intermittently. I have koilonychia, which I've had for a few years.
Okay, tell me what that is.
Spoon nails. It's also called spoon nail.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lacking in stamina for a long time. I've been adding fat to my diet, and as I've been doing that, my cholesterol has now gone up over 300.
That's very good, actually.
Over 300?
The Inuit Eskimos above the Arctic Circle, their cholesterols run 350 to 500, and they're the culture that has the fewest cardiovascular events and strokes of any culture on Earth. So, ideally, your blood cholesterol should be somewhere between, I'd say, 270 and 500. So if you're at 2, you say you're at what?
338 was the last.
338. Yeah, okay, that's cool. You must have some Inuit Eskimo in you. But, yeah, cholesterol doesn't cause strokes. Cholesterol doesn't cause heart attacks. In fact, cholesterol is an essential nutrient. If the odds of you getting Alzheimer's disease is pretty low with a cholesterol like that, because cholesterol deficiency is one of the main causes, not total cause, but one of the main contributors to Alzheimer's disease and other dementias and brain disease like MS and so forth. So having a cholesterol up there is a good thing. Then, when you have skin problems like splits in your skin, you have spoon nails and so forth, this has to do with protein deficiencies, amino acid, particularly sulfur amino acid deficiencies. And then you have cramps. Char, what causes cramps?
Lack of calcium.
Yep, usually lack of calcium. Joint issues, again, when you're hiking and stuff, climbing, walking. This can be, again, the beginnings of arthritis, osteopenia, osteoarthritis, osteopenia, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, degenerative arthritis, bone-to-bone arthritis. And let's see here. What do you weigh again?
I'm 155, 5'10".
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I would do. Well, Char, what would you do as a diet for him? How would you start him off in a diet?
Well, I guess he just needs probably two, because he's over 150 pounds, 2 healthy bone and joint packs, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that'd be the great supplement program. Yep, 2 healthy bone and joint packs. That would allow you to have 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and a total of 15 glucogel a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. All that would be accomplished by the 2 healthy bone and joint packs. I would also take the de-stress capsules for, you have a problem with stamina, so I would go with the de-stress capsules, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I would also use our sports drink. Rebound has 100 nutrients in it. The others in the market have anywhere from 2 to 6, so Rebound is a much better way to get your energy because it has 100 nutrients in it. And then I would also take the hair, skin, and nails. I would take 3 of those twice a day. And I would go ahead and humor me, get on a gluten-free diet, get gluten-free, get no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils. That means no coconut oil, no olive oil, no margarine, mayonnaise, salads, cooking oils. And there's plenty of ways you can get carbohydrates if you expend a lot of energy in working out and walking and doing physical work in your trade. Things like rice, millet, buckwheat, which is not wheat, sweet potatoes, baked sweet potatoes, butter, and cinnamon and so forth. Lots of ways to do that. I have high-quality proteins like eggs. Stay away from sugar, natural and processed, including agave, things like molasses, honey. Stay away from that kind of stuff. And really eat more animal protein with meals. And it wouldn't hurt to take some enzymes. Which enzyme would you throw in, Shar?
The ultimate enzymes.
Yep, ultimate enzymes, very basic, very good stuff. One or two of those, 2 minutes before each meal, a couple ounces of water. And to do this detox thing, to get rid of some of this gunk you may or may not have in you, it won't hurt you if you don't have any gunk in you. If you do have some gunk in you, this will help. I would go ahead and use our herbal rainforest. Take a tablespoon at bedtime with a glass of water. That's a half ounce, so 1 quart will last you 2 months. And at the end of 2 months, kind of reevaluate, see how you feel. Don't forget, take all the rest of the stuff and see how your joints are working, see how your stamina is working, see how your skin is doing, and how many cramps you have in the next 2 months. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity, 95 Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
So let's head to Los Angeles, California. And Mary, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Mary, you're on the air.
Thank you. And my son is 20 years old and grew up very healthy and no problem while he was growing up. But sometimes about a year ago, he was, having problem with OCD. And then it turned out to be that he was hearing voices, so he was hospitalized for a month. So they put him on a medication called clozapine, and the side effect of that, he has gained weight, and he's 6 feet tall, about, right now he has gained like over 20 pounds. He's 175 right now, and he has to give blood every week because it affects his white blood cells. And his stomach is like an old person, bloating, and weight gain, and he sleeps a lot. He functions okay, goes to school right now, and they said he cannot be out of this medication. And I'm just praying that I don't want him, because he has to take every night the medication. They said if he miss, he will be affected even more worse. So I'm taking care of that. And can he be out of this medication? And if he takes supplements, minerals, is it going to conflict with the medication he takes?
Okay, nutrition won't conflict. The body needs the 90 essential nutrients, okay? You can't be healthy, you can't live, brain won't function, all that kind of stuff. And so herbs could conflict with medication because herbs are plant medicines, right? Mm-hmm. But nutrition is nutrition, okay? It's totally different than medications. So what I would do, and you say he weighs 170 pounds?
Right, yeah, but he gained weight, and because he...
it doesn't matter. I just need to know what he weighs now.
Yes, he does.
170 pounds, okay.
Yeah.
And OCD, obsessive-compulsive disease.
Yeah, right? And then later on he became...
And when you start hearing voices, it kind of blends over into psychoses.
Exactly.
Okay? Yep. So you want to have him stay away from all the bad stuff. And if he's living with you, you can control this. It means no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, absolutely no gluten, no wheat, brown, and oats. They can absorb nutrients. In many of these cases, your brain requires all 90 essential nutrients. And when you get these health problems of the brain, it's because you have nutritional deficiencies, oftentimes because you cannot absorb them from your food. So it's imperative he stays away from gluten, no wheat, brown, and oats. I'd also have him, he could eat rice, he could eat baked sweet potatoes with butter, he can have eggs, he can, that kind of stuff. But no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, and no gluten, no wheat, brown, and oats. Also, at 170 pounds, I'd have him take 2 of the healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I'd also have him take 3 of the de-stress capsules. This is for brain metabolism. The B vitamins for brain metabolism, also for the metabolism of every tissue in the body. I'd have him take 3 de-stress capsules at breakfast and dinner. That'd be 2 bottles a month. I would also have him take the Smart FX as DHAs and EPAs, which are the raw materials for the neurons, the brain cells, to make neurotransmitters, so everything in the brain should work better. Okay? This will support healthy brain function by making healthy neurotransmitters. Okay, the Smart FX, I'd like him to take 3 of those 3 times a day. That'll be 3 bottles a month, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. And then lastly, I would like him to have the Immortalium, which will encourage cells to work better in the brain, the heart, the liver, the kidneys, all over the place. And so what this program does, the Immortalium, take 3 twice a day, that's 2 bottles a month, that will help all of his tissues work more efficiently, because these are the raw materials that your genes, your DNA, your RNA, and your telomeres require to maximize their function. So let's start there. Do not take him off of any medication. Do exactly as the doctor says with the medication, okay? Do not take him off of any medication. But if you see improvements of him, if you see things, and how often does he go to the doctor? Once a month or once every 3 months?
Right now, because he's okay. He's doing very good. No.
I only have 1 second. How often does he go to the doctor?
Every 2 months, every 3 months.
Okay, good. Then give me a report every time he goes to the doctor. In the meantime, let's get started. And give us a report every 2 weeks, and certainly after he sees the doctor. Well, thank you, everybody. Great questions and testimonies today. Thank you so much, Sar. Beautiful job as usual. Thank you, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.